Hey, welcome back. Episode 26. 26, baby. What's happening? This is fourth in the game, man. I got my homeboy Fred in the building. Say what's up.
What's going on, man? I heard I have to bring my energy up. I've been told that my energy is insufficient to start off the show, so I'm just, I'm happy to be here. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
That is a significant improvement, Mr. Fred.
Thank you.
Great job.
And since you already spoke, go ahead and introduce yourself, Mr. Opinion.
Yo, it's Mr. Opinion in the building. So glad to be here. What up, my people?
Yeah, and look, I hope y'all subscribing and liking and doing all the things and commenting. We coming live, man. We bringing it to you. We know it's the dog days of summer, but we still bringing that good content to you, baby. So get ready. This is going to be a good show. Trust me, it's going to be a good show. Fred is going to bring it today. So our first topic.
Wait, time out. Is it up for Fred to whether we're going to have a good show? Because
no,
I'm skeptical.
No.
I mean, I do kind of carry it. I do kind of carry the show. Let's be honest. Let's keep it real.
Yes. No, it's true. No, Roscoe, it's completely true. He carries it straight down. Turn me up. Don't turn me down. Let's go, Roscoe.
You feeling good? Hey, well, look, we'll start off with a topic so Fred can bring us up. So, Fred, I'll let you start off, man. Dame Lillard is asking for a trade request. Give me your opinion on Dame Lillard, his trade request, how you feel, how you don't feel. Give me what you think, man. Go ahead.
Well, Dame Lillard is saying he only wants to go to the Miami Heat. That seems to be an issue. So this is a Miami or bust situation. It sounds like maybe Portland is trying to shop him around to other teams while he's saying, I'm not going to do that. I even saw some story. I didn't check the veracity of this. I don't even remember where I saw it, but I did see some story today that said that his agent was calling some of these rumored other teams and trying to heavily dissuade them from making a move for Dame Lillard. So sounds like he's pretty serious about this Miami Heat thing. So, and it made me wonder, what would the Heat look like with Lillard, Butler, and Adebayo? They might look pretty solid.
Okay, all right, that's a solid take. So, Mr. Opinion, what is your take on the Dame Lillard trade request, man? Give me
Listen, man, Dame Lillard, whatever the hell you say his name, Dame Portland is about 5 years too late. 5 years too late. Mr. Hip Hop, rippity rap superstar. He thought he was going to be the next Sir Mix-a-Lot, and he's Sir Sucks-a-Lot. Because the reason why I say that is he decided to stick around on a mediocre team instead of leaving when he should have left 4 or 5 years ago. He's 32 years old. He doesn't. I don't know. I don't think he has it to the level that he did 4 or 5 years ago when he actually could have led Miami or any other team with another superstar to a championship. Because let's be honest, who wants to go to Portland besides me? Who? It's beautiful out there. I'm telling you, got some hiking, got some woods. You know what I mean? It's
nice. Going there to play basketball. That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like did Dame Lillard like smash your mailbox with a baseball bat when he was driving by your house or something? Because you're going very hard on him. It's almost like you have some sort of personal.
No, it's annoying to me when these players who are now he's chasing. It feels like he's chasing the ring at this point.
No,
right?
Man.
He saw the success of Miami. Now he's like, oh, let me finally jump on board. Am I wrong with saying he should have left 4 or 5 years ago? Come on, who disagrees with that statement?
Well, I'm not saying that you're wrong with that statement, but calling him sorry, that's something that sounds personal, like he said.
Yeah,
you must have spit your Cheerios or something this morning.
Well, I'm just saying, in terms of context, he was on the verge of being that dude. He proved that he couldn't take his team, the Portland Trailblazers, over the top.
Wow,
he didn't. He got just close enough to not be good enough. Wow. And when everybody, I mean, who didn't say he shouldn't have left 4 or 5 years? Nobody was saying that. This isn't hindsight. This is pre-sight. And he didn't go.
I got to be honest. I didn't know that anyone had this level of intense feelings about Dame Lillard one way or the other, like for good or bad. I didn't even know. I didn't even realize he was a controversial figure in any way, shape, or form. I guess his rap style, you don't really like.
Well, my point is, like, yeah, he'll jump on a rap beat. Whoop-de-doo. what I'm saying is, we want to see great teams. Everybody wanted to see Dame Lillard. How in the hell you say his name? Take that next step.
Lillard.
And
Lillard.
well, I wouldn't know how to say his name if he was in Miami. How about that?
Well, maybe you'll be saying his name correctly next time because they could. Maybe he's just a piece they need to get him over the top into the championship.
He's another Chris Paul chasing some, and he never would be. Chris Paul didn't lead his team. He was on a team that got to the championship, but by the time he got there, he wasn't good enough to make an impact. So,
Chris Paul's situation is different, man. The NBA stopped them from being great when they ain't let them go to the Lakers, bro. Come on now, don't do that. And they let him go to the Clippers.
That's what they say, and by they I mean the LA Lakers fans. Exactly. That's what they say.
Because it's true. The trade was done, and they didn't let him go. Anyway,
no comment.
Yeah, Dame Lillard, man. I hope the best for you. And if you do get to Miami, don't go to South Beach and hang out because it ain't nothing there for you, bro.
Stay away from Mr. Opinion's property line because sounds like it could be trouble for you if you show up back around there.
Well, on another topic, man, you know what I'm saying? Something that we have honed in about, something that we, hold dear to our hearts, man. It's the XFL championships ratings are better than the USFL championship ratings. We have been on the XFL bandwagon since the beginning.
They died.
You know what I'm saying? One time, for the Defenders. But I would say that for the XFL championship ratings to be better than USFL, we seen this coming because nobody is watching the USFL. I don't even know any players in the USFL. I don't know any teams. It wasn't a hoopla. There wasn't nothing popping up on my phone about updates, and it wasn't a connection. It was almost like they was playing Sandlot with nice uniforms on, man. So, Mr. Opinion, give me your opinion on that topic, brother.
Listen, man, I think the bigger picture is later for the XFL and USL, only to the degree that it's over. The XFL has won. The USFL might as well fold and becomes part of the XFL. I do like that they played their championship game in a neutral site in Orlando. I thought that was pretty cool. Okay. But this is my bigger thought when I hear about this story. Fox has the Big Ten. That's their super conference in college football. ESPN has the SEC. That's their super conference in football, college football. So those are the two powerhouse conferences. They're making $1 gajillion a piece for the product. So my question goes to, in this similar vein against product versus product, will Fox be able to promote the Big Ten in the way in which they'll be relevant, not being on ESPN? Because ESPN has a place within the culture that makes them possibly a little more relevant. So that's what I'm really looking forward to see. I wonder if this is a precursor to that. So to that battle between the Big Ten, between the Fox and ESPN.
I don't want to get off the XFL too quickly because I'm not really saying that this podcast is the reason that it outperformed the USFL in the championship.
So that's the reason.
But it is the reason that happened. So
I think it is.
Congratulations to us for getting the XFL over the top. As far as which networks can promote college football the best, definitely the network. Whoever's carrying the SEC wins. I don't even know. This isn't even. Is there even any other college football? There's other college football besides the SEC. That's crazy. I didn't even know, and I won't watch it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, that's good, man. But so we talked about college. We talked about Little League football, man. NFL football is about to start, and it's way too early to get into, the ins and outs of the NFL, man. And I just had a question that I thought of, and it's been a long time.
All by yourself?
Yeah, all by myself. I'm the question thinking guy.
Good job thinking of this question.
Yeah.
You ain't even heard the question yet.
Exactly.
It might not be it might be a Dame Lillard type question.
We tried.
Well, Fred, you go ahead and ask the question, and since I wrote it by myself.
Well, the question is in today's modern NFL, could a defensive player win MVP? It's only happened twice in league history. Last time was in '86 with Lawrence Taylor. So considering the way the NFL is nowadays, what do you guys think? Is it possible for a defensive player these days to win an MVP in the NFL?
I would say yes, simply because it's a lot of defensive players right now that have big names, like Michael Parsons and Aaron Donald, and guys of that caliber. You know what I'm saying? Like Matt Max for my boys here. If you sat the quarterback and do a dance,
jeez,
you get paid. You know what I'm saying? And what's the problem? Why? Because I can't bring in my boy. He's good.
Obviously ridiculous.
No. On a serious tip, though, I think a defensive player could win, but they would have to be like Deion Sanders type. Return punts and kicks and play defense. You know what I'm saying? More like a DB, or if it's a D lineman that is real dominant, that undeniably that good, that he's the best player on that team. Because the last person I seen that could have won it would have been Ed Reed or something like that. Or I would say Ed Reed probably been the last guy I think that could have won the defensive MVP.
Are you saying that because of his versatility?
Yes, his versatility and how he played, and he was the most valuable person on that defense at that time. So
I think I want to jump in. I think you bring up a great point, but I think you hit the nail on the head with Aaron Donald. His season when they won the championship, he was pretty much unplayable. Mm-hmm. And that should have been, in my opinion, that should have been a league MVP type of year. I think of Strahan, his 19-20 sack season.
Yeah.
He didn't win it that year, and he was pretty much unplayable. I think of Reggie White and some of the seasons he had, and he didn't win it. Obviously, the greatest defensive player of all time, Warren Sapp, he didn't win it, considering the year before they won the Super Bowl.
He was more of a tandem duo type deal now.
Co-MVPs work for me. Co-league MVPs with Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp definitely.
So you think they both should have won MVP that year?
But I said co.
But here's the thing, though. That's probably what's going to have to happen. That's probably what's going to have to happen for a defensive player to win it. It might have to be MVPs. But go ahead.
I just want to finish up. And only reason why I don't think it's going to happen is because of NFL Red Zone, because of fantasy. I think that really distracts. Red Zone's only going up. It's going to be on YouTube this season. There's going to be a plethora of people watching it, but watching just for the offensive highlights even more so. So it's going to exacerbate those of what is a good defensive player and what isn't. So Xavier Howard, can he win it? No, because he plays for the Dolphins. But if he was on a good team, there could be a chance of a player like that. We talk about Sauce Gardner. I'm really looking forward to, can he take that next level and be a Deion Sanders, at least in our minds of the public? It would have to be somebody like that who really captures the public attention. I don't think it could be someone like Michael Parsons who faded away in the playoffs, but that's a different conversation. Go ahead, Fred. What are your thoughts on this topic?
I'll just say this. If a defensive player in the NFL is going to win MVP, then it needs to happen within the next 10 years. Because in 2033, you're not going to be allowed to have a defense on the field. So you better get it done. Get it done within the next 10 years, guys. We need to see one. Bring one last defensive NFL MVP home before they eliminate defense altogether.
I need a tool maybe on my phone to give you a round of applause. Fred, that was a great take.
That was great.
I doubted you at the beginning of the show, and I still doubt you. But you came with a take. You came with a take.
I'm carrying this show again. Here I find myself carrying this show.
Like you said, with the red zone is all focused on offense and all that good stuff, right? So will running backs ever matter again? You know what I'm saying? Because right now running backs are like a dime a dozen. You know what I'm saying? They get treated like play cousins. I like how that rhymed. I'm gonna let y'all have that though. You know what I'm saying? Put some beat in it. Anyway, so do you think running backs are gonna be prominent again, or what would it take for them to get back up there? Because right now it's a bunch of big name free agents out there that's, you know what I'm saying, play running back position that's like nobody's really checking for them until they really need some. So I will go to Fred first. What are your opinion on, will you think running backs matter again?
I don't know, man. It's hard to say. It's almost like, like when I look at some of these guys, it's like they test the limits of how, not test, but they push down the teams push down the limits of what age is too old every year. It feels like, right? And then they just stick to their guns stubbornly. Like they just assume that maybe, I don't know, maybe I don't need to pay big money for Zeke Elliott. It's almost like they're committed to doing this kind of thing to the running back position. And I don't know if that's to help, skyrocketing cost of mediocre quarterbacks or whatever it's for, whatever ridiculous thing the league is turning itself into. I don't think it bodes well for the running backs. It's a little disheartening to see these guys at younger and younger remain unsigned for longer and longer. I mean, there's big name running backs on this list, like you said, and you don't even really hear people talking about them. And I mean, I get that it's July, but back in the day, this would have all been news.
Oh yeah. So, Mr. P, what's your take, brother?
Your running backs can't matter anymore, and the reason why they can't matter let me take a step back. They do matter, but not in the same way because now it's spread out in the touches. And I think the real reason for that is offensive linemen aren't that good anymore. Offensive linemen, they're not run blocking from the time they're in college anymore. Everybody has this spread offense, so everybody's being trained to pass block. So when you get a team that runs the ball consistently, those teams don't put up enough points to make a difference. So teams don't trust their defenses enough to make the stops on offense in order for running backs to matter in the same way where you'll have the great Emmitt Smith who'll just pound the ball all the way to Super Bowls, right? You just can't trust it just because of the design of the league. So do running backs matter? Yes. Do they matter in a way in which Emmitt Smith can happen? Maybe, because Derrick Henry has got a lot of touches, has done a lot with the ball, but they haven't made a Super Bowl. And I think a large part is, they don't have a quarterback, but they invested a lot in the offensive line. So can you get a top quarterback that's willing to just hand the ball off? Can you imagine that someone like Mahomes handing the ball off and not really going hardcore at throwing the ball as much as he wants whenever he wants? Maybe it'll be better for his health in long term, but he won't be an all-time great possibly in the same way, because the days of sorry quarterback, Terry Bradshaw, who just handed the ball off on the way to the Hall of Fame, that ain't gonna happen anymore in terms of the red zone.
I mean, I was thinking of this, and like you say, Derrick Henry come to mind, and your boy
Josh Jacobs. Go ahead, I'll say it for you.
No. I wasn't gonna say Josh because he's the leading rusher of the NFL, because that's neither here nor there. I was gonna say that other running back, Lamar Jackson. He's great. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people like that you know what I'm saying. You sit back and say, well, damn, if they actually build around that and get a good scheme around it, because that comes back to coaching. I would say that the running back becomes irrelevant because everybody's a copycat league. Everybody sees that Mahomes is winning with this spread stuff and all that jazz. But when Mahomes was starting to get banged up and hurt, the Chiefs looked very pedestrian. You know what I'm saying? They was just like mediocre, and they looked like, the chefs that they are. So all I'm saying is, if you have a good coach that can game plan and scheme with a decent running back, because Leonard Fournette helped the Bucs win a championship.
1,000% true.
Like without Leonard Fournette, the Bucs don't win the Super Bowl. The Bucs don't go to the playoffs like they do. And we know that without a good running game, even with the Chiefs in their Super Bowl, when they started running the ball, that's when they started whooping people. That's when they started winning. So now, like you say, the running back position is not irrelevant. It's just how they treat it and how they're not making them superstars. So when you're not making them superstars, then who wants to play it? Then it just becomes a regular Monday. It becomes like a fullback type of position. Like nobody plays the fullback position anymore. But if you had somebody that was dominant fullback, like Allside or something, you know what I'm saying? Then guess what? Somebody's going to game plan for a guy like Allside and put him in there and make him a superstar. So it's all that comes back to coaching to me. That's my opinion on the running back game.
In the future, the NFL is going to have a center, a quarterback, and 9 wide receivers on the field at one time. That's just going to be the formation, and then they're just going to all run various pass patterns. Most of them will be go routes.
So you're saying linemen are going to be obsolete then?
Just there. Well, there you have to have someone to snap the ball, so there will be a center.
No, they got somebody just toss it back.
Yeah,
that's true. That guy can run a route too. He
So
can
basically,
get the flat.
adult league flag,
Yeah, that's what you're gonna see, man. That's what you're gonna
contact
see.
flag.
No,
Wow.
I think you bring up some really good points, but I really do want to emphasize there's not the same training on the offensive line just because a lot of college teams can't recruit enough offensive linemen in the same way in order to really train that running scheme. Like you have teams like Baylor, who's never been good until recently, until the air raids, until the spreads, the Texas Tech, the Washington. It gives teams a chance. So as a coach, you rather put in a system that gives you a chance to win than having to depend on recruiting a Derrick Henry because you're not getting him, and to recruit the offensive lineman like whoever Bryant McKinney that you're going to need in order to go to the next level. So that's just where I stand on that.
So and then like you say with that in college, now who's the most dominant college team right now?
University of South Florida.
Okay, besides South Florida, is Alabama, right?
Okay.
And Alabama always has a top-notch running back that's always getting picked high, that runs the ball, and they run the ball very well. But I don't know why nobody else is trying to copy this scheme, because they act like Alabama is not kicking everybody's butt. They are still old school, running the ball down your throat, throwing it here and there, because their quarterbacks are very mediocre. And they're just running that thing down your throat, throwing it to the elite receivers here and there, and playing good defense. So, yeah, somebody need to copy Alabama's scheme and get you a Josh Jacobs, because he came from Alabama, right? So I spun that around, Fred.
I mean, football is getting to where you can't even recognize it anymore. That's what's happening. And speaking of not recognizing people, I think that the security guards who were around first overall draft pick Wemby, what is that guy's last name? Wembanyama, is that how you say it? Something like that.
Forget your mama.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mess up that guy's name. Anyway, he was in San Antonio being closely guarded by security, obviously, because that's what you do with an asset that you've picked first overall in a draft. And some woman came and grabbed his back and claims now she was struck in the face by security, and this woman just happened to be one Britney Spears, who apparently no one recognized. Well, they didn't recognize. They didn't recognize in time to not hit her in the face. So what does this mean? What is this all about? Why? How does this happen, Mr. Opinion? Can you explain to me how Wemby security hits Britney Spears in the face?
First, I think people have to understand Victor was violently assaulted by a cocaine-addled Britney Spears.
Oh, no.
Allegedly.
Oh, no. We don't. Allegedly. Man.
Allegedly.
I'm just saying she has a checkered past when it comes to
wow.
being or near people, right? So because of that, this violent assault in which she claims I only tapped him. Now, you know when Britney is flying the kites that she wouldn't know a touch from a smack on the back of the head. And I heard she had some lemon heads in her pocket when she did it.
Wow,
I
would say that. First off, why is Britney Spears trying to trust Wemby anyway? Because I clearly don't think he knows who the hell she is. Like, who's this crazy?
Wait, let me jump in, Roscoe, really quick if I can. I don't want to jump over your point. But the lie was told that a 5'1" Britney Spears touched 7'25" Wemby Yammy on the shoulder to get his attention. And you know damn well. I mean, you know darn well.
I heard she grabbed his shirt from the back, is what he said in an interview today.
Back.
See, exactly. I was just going to say that. She was trying to reach for his cookies in his pocket to go along with her lemon heads. And he was like, "You are not grabbing my cookies."
So was she that high that she touched his shoulders?
Maybe. She could have floated down and used his shoulders to stabilize her descent. That's also possible.
In the report, they said that Britney Spears claimed to have tapped him on the shoulder, and I'm just saying that's a darn on gone.
Oh man.
I think this is a simple case of mistaken identity. Personally, I think that you don't have any way. If you're a young person now, you don't know who Britney Spears is. I mean, it's It's just like, you know, it's like
I
right
don't know
now.
about that because I think with the Spotify and the music, I think the kids
Right now, if you were walking down the street and Paula Abdul walked up and grabbed your shoulder, you might be like, "Oh, who are you?" You know what I mean? Like it might take you a second, right? So I have to think that it's kind of the same thing, right? Like Brittany grabs this guy's back, and they're like, "Oh, you're not Ice Spice. Get out of here." You know what I mean? So
Paula Abdul.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That was the most, you know, I don't know. I don't know how to compare these people.
Listen,
I bet she'll land on the ground till some hit me one more time.
Yeah. I don't think
all
so.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
say
think she
is
was
straight up, you gotta just say, I will recognize Paula Abdul. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I know you won't.
Because she was on the
because she's forever your girl.
Yeah.
You're trying to say?
Hey, I like how
I'm just saying opposites attract. You know what I mean?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that's all 4 of the Paula Abdul songs we just did. So
No, we can't forget Rush.
Oh, I forgot about that. Is that her for sure? Okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough.
All right. So I just really want to iterate that Britney Spears has some lemon heads in her pockets, and I also heard they found some lemon heads in the White House.
Allegedly.
Wow.
Oh, whoa. That's not alleged. That is a thing. They did find some
true.
white powdery substance that later turned out to be cocaine.
No, it was
in
crushed
the White
lemon
House.
heads.
And I don't. Oh yeah, I guess we're multiple minutes into this podcast by now, but yeah. So there's white powdery substance found. They tested it, and it was it was that powdery stuff that booger sugar. I guess I don't know what they call it. I don't know what
the craziest thing I heard about the lemon heads or the boogery sugary, whatever you said.
He said booger sugar. You heard it?
What the heck? I heard a comment that was really Donald Trump's Jr.'s lemon head powder.
But see, the thing
That's
is,
from the Democrats. I don't know.
I don't think he likes it. He just likes the way it smells. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man!
So
I just know. I thought that the Miami Hurricanes from the 1980s were there visiting, and I don't know what was going on with that. But
Joe Biden thought it was BC powder. He really had a headache. You know, old folk take BC.
Old folk take BC. That's a fact.
BC powder. You know what I'm saying? I think it really came from Bush stash. You know what I'm saying? You remember the young Bush? He was a known powderhead back in the day. So
allegedly.
Listen,
allegedly.
No, that's on the
Allegedly.
I think one of and you bring up a 2 good points that I really want to jump on. First, it reminds me of the hypocrisy of Joe Biden, right? Mm-hmm. Joe Biden, who engineered the Joe Biden crime bill that locked up.
Wait. Before you get carried away here, I just want to say, would it make any difference at all if I pointed out that this was cocaine and not crack?
Nice.
I think we need to think this through all the way before we start throwing out crazy things. This was cocaine, powdered cocaine, and not crack. So I don't know. I mean,
there you go. You ain't even got to go that far. You already know what time it is.
I think that actually proves my point of the hypocrisy. But also, when you bring up Bush Jr. W. And him going to Yale, his father went to Yale. There was just a big court case in which affirmative action was outlawed. We kind of talked about it that week. And now the next challenge in terms of this situation is they're saying that the legacy appointments into the schools could also be ruled illegal. And what's your guys' thoughts on a legacy? Is simply if your father or grandfather went to Yale or school, you'll get special privileges in terms of recruiting into the school. So what are you guys' thoughts on legacies?
I say that they don't need to get rid of it because, you make those connections in school and you pay all that money, and you should have some type of one-upsmanship on somebody else coming into that school and keeping it in the family. You know what I'm saying? Because if we all know that allegedly college is the biggest money-making scheme on earth. I don't even
know that's alleged.
But I'm just saying, just in case, somebody try to, say something to me. But if I had the inside track on my kids getting into school simply because I went there, you damn right I'm gonna pull that card and I'm gonna put them in there and I'm gonna make sure they all right. You know what I'm saying? If you take that away from me, now what is the point? What is the purpose of me donating money back to that school? You know what I'm saying? If I can't have a influence in who goes there and what's being said at the school.
Well, it just makes me speak of schools, especially universities, being a gateway to success and opportunity. Mm-hmm. I think there's enough evidence that bears that out. So if you're going to actively say that one group that is clearly shown to be disadvantaged, we have to remove those barriers. You can't then say it's okay to keep a barrier that creates a level of unfairness within the process, right? We all dream of being that guy that's rich and I get a chance to, you know, obviously if I have kids one day, you know, I want them to have an inside track to the greatest university in the world, University of South Florida, obviously, right? But
what?
It's a bummer.
Wow. Fred, so what's your opinion on that then?
Legacies, yes. So in the mountains, we there's a lot of Subarus here, and Legacy is one of the cars that Subaru makes. You see them around here quite a bit. They're all-wheel drive. They handle the mountain curvy roads well, and I think they're pretty fuel efficient. Some of them are kind of sporty. I've seen them with spoilers and kind of some rims on them. So that, you know, Legacies, they're I guess they're pretty reliable transportation in the mountains.
Do they hold a lot of white powdery substances in them?
No, I think if you're trying to move that through the mountains, that you're better off with like a Subaru Outback or something that has one of those large hatches in the back. That's more like a little SUV than a 4-door coupe.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm just telling you, you know, like if that's what you were thinking about doing, I would just suggest you utilize the utility compartment in the back. But I don't know. I mean, you know, do your own thing. No, well, I think legacy admissions are silly, and I don't care if they stop. I don't. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you know, I think that people's obsession with college admission is a little weird every time the subject comes up for me. I don't always get it. I think people have to start figuring out ways to make money in this world that doesn't involve paying a college tens of thousands of dollars. There have to be ways. We still need people to build things. We still need people to fix things. You don't have to go to college to do any of that. But also people who want to get there probably need some sort of fair shake. So I don't know. I mean, I think affirmative action goes away and legacies go away. Isn't that kind of, is that progress? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how any of this works.
Who knows? But yeah, man, it's a slippery slope. You know what I'm saying? White powdery slippery slope. And, so yeah, if my president's on dope, man, that's fine by me. It really don't matter because you know,
he ain't making no decisions anyway.
Yeah, well, and, you know, not only that, man. Like I think the first thing that I thought when I heard this was like, well, obviously this is not the first time cocaine has been in the White House. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, of course it's been there before. I think then I immediately thought, well, do I want to know about it if it's there? And I don't know. Maybe this isn't the best look. I don't really know. Seems like not a thing you would want. I mean, I can say for certain that you never find booger sugar in my house. Like if that happens, it's a scandal because people need to be like, hey, Fred, what's going on at your house, buddy? And then I should have to answer that because that's kind of a big deal. I mean, at least amongst my friends and family, there would be some questions like what's going on at Fred's house? So, you know, on a national scale, it'd be nice if we could get some sort of clarity or, you know, some sort of understanding, but I don't. I mean, let's be honest. We live in a comic book these days, so I don't even know. I don't know what's happening.
I wonder how much it was. Was it like a lot? Was it laced? You know what I'm saying? Who gave it to him? You know, I bet you the person who actually left it there was probably pissed off that they left their candy, you know, their nose candy there.
Yeah, so, they probably had plenty of it. To be honest.
Yeah. But let's just change gears a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Venus Williams just lost in the Wimbledon, right? You know what I'm saying? And she put out a heartfelt statement about, you know what I'm saying, being humble and, you know what I'm saying, not holding the head down and, you know, the things she's supposed to say after you lose in the first round of Wimbledon. But for me, in my opinion, I think that, you know, is beyond her now. You know what I'm saying? It's time for her to go and you just hang up and, you know, do something else. And So what do you guys think about Venus Williams losing in the Wimbledon, and what should be her next move?
I don't know how much in the public eye is Venus Williams. I feel like Serena has been the one to grab all of the kind of outside, off the court resources and opportunities. Maybe, I don't know though. Venus probably, I would imagine, has invested her money or something. She can't play tennis forever. Obviously, she's about to turn 78 next year. So, she's held on for a while, man. She's been going at it. I think she's been playing professional tennis since like 1941 or something like that, if I have the math right. So anyway, man, I don't know. I mean, it's a tough break, Venus, but I think she'll be fine. And hopefully she can find something to do. Venus and Serena are pioneers in that sport. Hopefully they'll be remembered as such. It is sad to see, Venus getting older, but she's been playing tennis forever. So good for her. Hopefully she can find a way to, kind of transition out of this gracefully, because that's what she deserves.
No, I think that's a great take, especially speak on her legacy. I think at this time, as she's just not as good as she was, it just reminds me. I remember when she stepped onto the scene as this young, what was she, 10 at the time?
With the beads in her hair. She had beads
in the hair. 14-year-old phenomenon who really turned. I don't know if she turned the game around, but she gave a lot of hope to a lot of tennis fans. It just speaks the power of sport, of parity, of giving an opportunity and letting people shine. Sports is a great equalizer. We're talking about legacies and all that stuff. A lot of times, hey man, that is you and your opponent, and that is one of the most fairest things out there in the world. Even though there has been times where those judges have tried to make it unfair, but that aside, I think those girls, especially even Venus, being the forerunner for Serena, a lot of people who know them way better than I do, because I don't know them, spoke about how Venus's power allowed Serena to be Serena, especially in terms of breaking open the door. Because a lot of people would say they don't know if Serena could have opened the door in the way that Venus was able to. So yes, in terms of Grand Slam wins and all that stuff, Serena's Venus' star never shined as bright as Serena in that sense. But at the same time, I don't know if Serena would have got there without her big sister to pave the way. So big respect to her. Whether she gets another exemption into the next, I'm all for it. If she never picks up the tennis racket again, I'm all for that too, because she's already given me, especially in terms of the sport of tennis, so much in terms of watching her perform as an elite athlete. So
big salute. So the question of the week, right? All right, we've been talking about athletes and all that good stuff. So how does an athlete know when to hang it up?
When they stop paying you.
When they stop paying you. Okay, that's one. Yeah. Fred, when do, in your opinion, when do you think an athlete needs to just hang it up, man?
Man, that's such a hard question, right? Like, when is it time to say I just shouldn't do this anymore? It's time to ride off in the sunset. I think that what you have to do,
like last week, you told me it's time for you to stop working. It's like time for you to retire, ride off into the sunset.
Yeah. I think it's just, I don't know. I mean, you have to just be ready to not do the thing anymore. Like, hey, I don't want to do any of this. I don't want to do this. This is dumb. Why am I getting up right now? Why am I doing this? Like, once you start thinking about, once your brain starts thinking like mine, then you probably should just go ahead and hang it up. Once you're waking up and you're like, why am I even doing this?
Hey, listen, man, you know how many people wake up every day with saying everything you just said?
They're not professional athletes. They're not professional athletes, so they don't get that kind of luxury.
Nah,
I guess it is when they stop paying you. That probably is the actual answer.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, like not to double down, but to look at it a different way. I remember I was told by one of my coaches, they were like, "Listen, you either leave the game or the game leaves you behind. Like it ain't no other way around it." And I think every athlete has to confront their mortality. Some can linger and last a little bit longer, but every single person, the gang will tell you no more. And that is a very real thing for everybody. So how do you look at that and make that decision? I really think it just depends on the person. And I don't necessarily think it's a money thing. It's really, what do you do with your life? It's institutionalized, right?
Mm-hmm.
We hear people who join all kind of organizations, whether it be a sorority or fraternity or any type of thing, and they don't know how to let it go. So they spend 8 years in college or 10 years, and they run it back for the next 15 years. Like, I don't want to leave this organization, so I'm going to stay here. So it's a very real thing, institutionalization. So I think it just depends on the person.
Well, I would think that when it's time to hang it up, man, is when you can't do that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? When you start getting booed, and you know what I'm saying, and when a third string rookie start, you know what I'm saying, giving it to you in practice, and then you like, damn, who is that? You know, you start looking at film, like, damn, who's that sorry ass dude out there? And you realize that's you. Like, I think that's when you need to hang it up. And I think it's a lot of athletes that held on for too long. It's a lot of boxers that do that, and until they get their brain, you know, knocked silly, and you know what I'm saying, they can't talk no more, all that good stuff there. And there's also a lot of football players who basically stealing money, you know, and they like to come to the Raiders and steal money after, you know what I'm saying, they're supposed to be retired. I hate that. And the Raiders always like to give.
It's not stealing it if the Raiders are always giving it away to old
exactly.
people.
I call it stealing, but you know, they still living off the legacy. The only person I've seen that didn't need to retire, he just retired because it wasn't nothing else for him to do, was Jerry Rice. Like, Jerry Rice could have played to now, you know what I'm saying, simply because of his work ethic and how he did what he did, but he still wasn't, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't as bad as like Alvin Harper when he went to the Bucks, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, stuff like that. So,
Roscoe, I got a question for
you.
You did make a reference to some of these players are stealing. It makes me think of, you know, the career of an NFL player is what, 2 years max? 2-3 years, something like this.
Yeah.
Like average? Is that what you're saying? Average?
Yeah, the average I think is 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
But the reason why I say that is a lot of these guys are good enough to be in the league. And because of either politics or this or that, they're not allowed to continue. I think about a few people that I've known that were good enough to be in the league. And like I said, because of all the politics or this or that, or who their agent was versus another agent, they weren't allowed. Remember, we had that same question with Lamar Jackson on whether or not he would get paid because he was negotiating his own contract.
Yeah.
So these things are such business deals. And I don't know if it's fair to say that they're stealing money, because if they have the opportunity to still collect these checks, considering how many people who should have a chance talent-wise to be in the league and then weren't allowed in the league for whatever political reason. So
I would say they stealing from the Raiders. I don't care who else they sign with for big money. I'm just saying they stealing from my team. Anytime they sign with my team and they don't do it, Chandler Jones, and they don't do what they're supposed to do, that's called stealing.
No, you see why I can't, man. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do with that kind of take? I sat down there, laid out a long,
it was
thought
nice.
out take.
It was a nice thought out take, but full of it. And damn it, I said what I said, and they're stealing. So now deal with that. So, but if you got a comment, and if you think that you have a better answer to, you know, when people are supposed to hang it up and when athletes are supposed to give it up, like Venus was supposed to give it up, even though she had a great career, you know, leave the comments, leave all that good stuff, man. And so right now we just go to the what do we care about? What is the only thing that we care about that's going on in our lives right now? So Fred, I will start off with you, my man. What's going on with you?
Well, my daughter's been gone in summer camp for a week, so she's getting to do all those things. We've had the house to ourselves. We got to do the 4th of July thing. We did a little traveling. Went on
walk around naked and stuff.
Went to go visit a little town. No, just just normal stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you're implying. But no, we've just been kind of like, just hanging out, and then my daughter comes home tomorrow, so I'm excited. Camp's always a fun time. Summer is here, so summer's tricky, especially when you have kids and you got to figure out hey, what do I do with my kid all the time? And they're going to be home for these next several weeks.
Yeah.
So man, that's kind of it, man. Just that, and just been focused on work, man. Trying to shake off those summertime blues or whatever they're called. I don't know what that says. Oh,
what does that say?
The Raiders suck.
Raiders are sick. Yeah, they're very sick.
The Raiders are sick. They're sick and they suck.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Well, before he put that sign up, you know what I'm saying? The thing that I only care about is I've started my sandwich eating quest videos. I've made like 2 of them. I'm gonna post them on here. I need to do some fine tuning and a little editing.
You made 12 of them already. You're going hard after those sandwiches. I thought you said you made 12 of them. I was going to say, you're really committed.
12 sandwiches. That's ridiculous. Yes, but I will be eating 12 sandwiches.
You just filmed 2 of them, but you made 12.
I just filmed 2. So, when you know what I'm saying, when I get that going, Raiders are sick with it. Yes, the Raiders are sick with it, Mr. Opinion. Man, I wonder what's going on with Mr. Opinion's screen. I can't even read it now. What's going on with that? I don't know.
I don't want to slow you down. Keep talking. Keep doing. I want you to care about.
Okay, but yeah, what I basically I'm making my sandwich videos, man. So check out the Sandwich King coming on 4th in the game. I got my favorite. My first one is going to be a doozy. So just be prepared for that, man. That's what I care about right now. Mr. Opinion, do you care about the Raiders?
No, they are in the Dame Lillard billiards category of
what's going on? We can't hear you. What did you say?
Out a little bit there. I think there's a connection issue.
Yeah, I'm out in the boonies. Now, one of the things that, I feel grateful, blessed sometimes. I had an opportunity to meet with the Congress woman from my state to advocate for my school. So I thought the Congresswoman from my state in Washington, D.C. to advocate for my school. So I felt really proud and privileged to do that, advocate for the kids, the community, and it's just crazy. Well, like y'all know where I come from and the place I am. So to be in those spaces sometimes is just really mind blowing to be able to do positive stuff for young people. So that's always a good thing, a good feeling. I've been working like crazy. That's on my mind. And my wife's almost down to 2 months left, maybe closer to 3 still. No, it's still 3. I misspoke. But she's through the High Sierra, so make sure you check her out. Unicorn World Travels, one word, on Instagram. I mean, it's some amazing pictures up there.
AKA Mrs. Opinion.
Yeah.
Hey, Mrs. Opinion doing opinionated things like going for hikes in the middle of nowhere. So that's pretty exciting from that standpoint. So that's pretty much what I got. Tell us, what is some of the things you guys care about? Make sure you lock in the comments below. We had some brilliant takes. Fred came with one great take. I ain't gonna hold you.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. From his standpoint, he carried the show, but from his standpoint, he carried the show.
Hey, let me know. Let me know in the comments if I carried the show. If I did, just say it. It's fine. You'll feel good for making me feel good, and we'll celebrate together.
What about you, Roscoe? How would you feel about the show?
Man, I feel that we have come a long way, and I also feel that simply because we have come a long way, man, that it's getting better. We got 3 viewers right now. That's been on there the whole time. You know
hey
what
guys,
I'm saying?
How are y'all?
And we got people commenting. She talking about, Brandy talking about go Bulls and stuff, man. So
USF.
We're growing. We're growing as a unit, man. And I love doing this. And I love doing this every week with y'all. And I love everybody that does watch. So please keep watching. I don't care if you don't like me or you do like me and you got a secret crush on me, just DM me. Don't let my wife.
Nobody has a secret crush on you,
because she
Roscoe.
reads all my DMs. But I'm just saying she don't.
We got to expand beyond the USF Bulls demographic. Just saying, we got to grow past just the USF Bulls demographic.
We literally do not. I like it. I like that actually.
But yeah, man, I enjoy the show, man. I enjoy you fellas, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I always tell y'all boys, I love y'all boys, man. Keep doing positive things. Keep doing great things in your lives, man. Don't change. Because if you do,
hey Roscoe, you going away or something, man? This is your
yeah. I might be going to the store later to get a sandwich.
Be really careful, man, because it sounds potentially ominous. I don't know why.
I'm sorry. See, this is what happens when you show people love. This is what I get from my homeboy. That's cool. You know what? Fine, I'll take it. Give it to me.
All right, we gotta get out of here.
I'm just saying, we gotta put you on like the watch. We will, like,
whatever. Episode 26.
Share your location. Share your location with me, so I know you're okay.
All right. Hey,
are you okay? Are you okay?
Fred, don't hang up. Veli, Mr. Opinion. That's why I did that on purpose.
Episode 26.
Peace.
Episode 26.